Right, it is Friday, March 27th. I wasn't really going to do this, but I'm kind of running ahead of schedule, so why not do a video? Because, hell, maybe it'll help myself for next week. So we're going to skip over gold, silver, and oil. I don't know, maybe we'll cover oil at the end, but let's start with the S&P. Second big daily drop. Again, note that we had a bearish pennant across a few days here with a terminating black candle that played out. New cycle low 63.56, selling at 63.68, down 1.7%. Not pretty, right? I would keep in mind for 200 day, which is now 66.34, that would be a prime target on a bounce. Keep in mind we have 6 downside gaps that go all the way down to the 5100s. And yes, we are oversold. Momentum's on the very low side, minus 101. We're low. Now, assuming if there is no quote weekend event, um, based on the VIX, the S&P will open down on Monday, but should look for a reversal. And target would be the 200 day, but maybe not until after holiday week. Something to think about, but regardless, bearish day, a bearish week, bearish month. In fact, we'll actually cover the quick look at the weekly charts. 2.1% for the week, zero sign of a floor. I mean, there's support around 6,300, but more broadly, 6174 is coming, 5600s. Just a matter of when. Monthly chart. So we have 2 trading days left of the month. S&P is down 510 points, 7.4%. Again, even if we bounce Monday, Tuesday, that's a horrible candle. That's the most bearish candle apart from, well, I guess you could say, yeah, it's the most bearish candle since March of 2020. Zero sign of a floor. Momentum is negative, will be sustainably negative in April. Profoundly important bearish cross, negative momentum. VIX on a daily up 13%, 3105. Momentum is positive. Let's have a look at this. I will say, yeah, but Transports actually has a nice bear flag. But I would be open to a little push up to 19K. Well, actually 18.8 where the 50 day is. We could have that and then break down. My concern is that maybe we'll just go straight. We'll break down on Monday and then spiral. That's possible. Target would be 16.7, which is 1,400 points down, which is about 8%. And that is a bear flag. And it's got to play out, right? The only issue is, do we have a couple of up days? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even April 6, 7, maybe, and then breakdown. Let's go through some individual stocks. I'm going to fly through these. So Apple down 1.6%, still holding with 200 day, but it's got to fail, right? Archer Aviation. Look at this. Archer Aviation has taken out the April low. That was when the S&P was 48.35. It's kind of incredible. So where's this got to go? $3, 2, 1? I mean, if you believe the S&P's got to crash into the fall, This is a $1 stock. I'd love to buy it at $1. Oh my God. Uh, Agnico got 3% for Agnico, but Structure's a bear flag. American Eagle up 0.4, 7% First Majestic. AMD still holding the 200-day. Again, it could bounce next week into green gap again. Amazon, that's an ugly drop, down 4%, under key price threshold. There's no way 196 has got a hold. We can start to wonder about 161 from April. American Express 2.4. Again, the minus catching a bounce. Hang on. All right. Bank of America down 2.5. Green gap does not look realistic. Maybe I mean, look, I don't know. Maybe it can come up to the 200-day, the 50, yeah, the 200-day, $50. It's possible. BlackRock down 3.5%. Note the Wednesday stall, black candle at the green gap. I mean, you could argue this is a bear flag on a weekly, and we're breaking down. Blackstone kind of just down with the main market. Caterpillar 1%. Chop chop. Kamiko holding up relatively. Carnival had earnings that are fine, but they still whacked it down on the earnings. Cleveland, that's a bear flag. It's not great. Coinbase down with crypto, terrible. Decker's bouncing, but that was after a rough day yesterday. Disney 2.5%. Yellow gap almost filled. Endeavor Silver 4%. I'm gonna skim through some of these. Google another 2%. Not pretty for Home Depot. But I think Intel's got to come down to red gap 28, 24s sooner or later. Another air taxi company down 4%, 810. I'd note the April low. That's got to be hit, right? 3% off JP Morgan. Not pretty. I mean, it's possible, of course, we could come back up to the 200-day next week, but broadly 250. KKR down 1.7%. That's in line with the S&P. Is today's candle a reversal? No, not quite. Just shy of a reversal. I wouldn't be surprised to see this come up to green gap next week. Or maybe, yeah. Again, I see this as a prime short. Target is $60 in my view. And who knows? Maybe by the fall, this will be a problem. I think it can be asked: is this a zero? Is KKR a zero? Kinder Morgan, that might be a new strike high. Don't care about Cree. Look at Meta, another 4% off. This has got to take out the April low. There's no way it's got to hold the April low. Microsoft today saw a break under the 365, which is the monthly 50 MA. Settled at 356. My target's around $200. I accept that's crazy, but if you told somebody last September that Microsoft would be 365, they would have said, that's crazy. That's $200 down. It can't go down that far. And here we are, almost back to the April low. But my issue with this is that we've broken. It's a decade threshold of importance. $200, Microsoft. Micron actually held up. Few buyers coming in. Same for Netflix. Nike has earnings next Tuesday, which should be okay. Phones are bouncing with the main market. You could argue, you know, maybe 56, 57s, maybe. Nvidia down with the main market down 2%. Target is 150 sooner or later. Ondas down 6%. Main market pressure. Occidental powering upwards with oil. Palantir down 3. PayPal 3. Red Cat 9. Wow. Rocket Lab down almost, what, 7.5%. $60. Big target is around 40. Some of the big name retail, Target, Costco, Walmart, all up. You can argue there's a defensive bid there. Tesla down 2.8. Don't care about that. United Airlines is my prime airline short. Target, I'm not in it, but you can argue that it's provisionally breaking a bear flag, which I mean, it could, if the main market can bounce, this will go back up to maybe 97, 98 again. Um, so I didn't capture today's downside, which is somewhat annoying, but at least I'm not long. More broadly, target is 70 based on structure. So I'm going to hope this bounces for a couple of days next week and then short it again. UPS just down with the main market. Exxon up 3.5%, well, 3.4. New historic high because of oil. And speaking of which, just have a quick sneaky look at oil. Actually, Bitcoin. Look at that, 4%, 66K. Not great. One of the oil officially up $5.90, 6.2, $100.38. Look at that candle, bullish. Momentum might turn positive on Monday or Tuesday. For the week, oil was up $2.15, 2.2. I mean, the candles are very spiky on both sides, right? It's a lot of instability, of course, because of the war talk. And keep in mind that with 2 days left of the month, oil is up $33, which is almost 50%. 50% on the month. That's one hell of a thing. It's very bad. That is a. Or you consider the fact that that's one of the biggest gains we've ever seen on a monthly for oil. It is it's an extraordinarily bearish variable for the global economy, especially the third world, but especially in terms of stocks, transport stocks, especially the airlines. Some of them are hedged, some aren't. But that's a bad. If that's sustainable, never mind the fact that maybe oil will go up to 150 or even above 200 in another month or two. That's a bad, bad problem for the global economy. Anyway, I'm going to do a lot more videos at the weekend. What do I want to end with? Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I want to end with. Again, seriously, look at this. It's playing out, right? I mean, seriously, what do you think April's going to be, right? April or May, we should be somewhere around here. And again, we could maybe come down. You see the last time we bounced just from above the 50 MA, which is currently 51.46. Do not be surprised if we're around here in April or May. That is that is one of the ugliest, most bearish candles we've seen in a long, long time. There is no reason not to expect April to print a lower low, not least because momentum is negative. So yeah, if my default trader course is short side right now, but maybe I can be buying somewhere around here, late April, May. Anyway, I'm fading away, so I'll call it that. And I wish you a good evening, a good weekend. Hopefully, it will be a quiet weekend. Good night.